So I made a card and dice game called Fiore Cards. It strives to accurately depict fencing. The game is very easy to learn, is completely free, and you can download both the game and the instructions from the links below. All you need is to print the cards double-sided, have 2 to 4 6-sided dice, and print out the outcomes table to determine the intensity of an attack or defense. It will always be free to download the game, as I made this just for fun. I hope you enjoy playing the game, and let me know if you have any suggestions. This video will go over how to play the game and provide 3 example exchanges. I won't go over every detail in this video, so be sure to download the instructions. The instructions also contains the outcomes tables, so you need that to play the game. So step 1 is setting up the game. Each player has 2 retreat cards, 4 virtue cards, and 10 wide game posta. The 4 special techniques like La Punta Falsa and Rompiere de Punta go in the middle, as well as all of the close game techniques, as only one can be played at a time. Once the table is set, the game can begin. Each player selects a wide game posta. Each player reveals their selected wide game posta at the same time. Now, each virtue gives a different bonus, such as +2 to any attacking dice roll, +2 to any grappling situation, things like this. You base your strategy based upon what your virtue is. Just like real fencing, if your advantage is in the close game, you should try and enter the close game. So each player takes all 4 of their virtue cards, shuffles them, then presents them face down to the opposing player. Each player then selects one virtue at random from the other player, then reveals them at the same time. This is done for 2 primary reasons. For one, selecting a virtue at random prevents people from using the same virtue again and again. Second, when fencing someone for the very first time, you do not know how they fence. They may be better at grappling than you, they may prefer to fence defensively or aggressively. You do not know if they have an advantage in the wide or close game until you begin to fight. The use of the virtue cards aims to simulate this aspect of fencing. Next, roll the dice to determine who controls the tempo. The player with the highest roll controls the tempo and determines if they wish to attack, the initial tempo, or sit back and defend, the counter tempo. This decision is largely based upon the player's virtue card. Say if you have a bonus to attacking or defending dice rolls. The player with initial tempo then selects a strike that is available from their chosen posta. The player with the counter tempo selects a corresponding defense that is available from their chosen posta. If a defense is not available, the player in the counter tempo must play a retreat card. If the player does not have any remaining retreat cards and cannot defend from that specific attack, then that player has lost the exchange. Both players roll the dice to determine the intensity of the attack and defense, weak, intermediate, or powerful, and views the outcome table. Based upon the value of the dice, a number of scenarios may play out, such as returning to a new wide game posta, entering the close game, or one player killing the other. Now, if the players enter the close game, the game progresses in a similar fashion, with both players selecting a close game technique and rolling the dice. Be sure to view the close game outcomes table. That's it. The game progresses until a kill is made. Sometimes a game ends quickly in just one attack, or it can continue for quite a while depending upon the strategy of the players and the luck of the dice. So let's take a look at a few example exchanges. So we have player A and player B. Both select a wide game posta and reveal it at the same time. A selected Porta de Ferro and B selected Dente de Cinquiaro. Now they randomly select a virtue card, with A selecting Celerity, which gives a +2 to all attacking dice rolls, and B selecting Audacity, which gives a +2 to all binding and special technique dice rolls. Then they roll the dice to determine tempo, with A getting a 9 and B getting an 8. So A controls the tempo and can decide whether to attack or defend. If A decides to defend, then B is forced to attack. All can play a retreat card, and the exchange resets to a new wide game posta and a re-roll for tempo. A decides to attack, so looks at the list of available attacks available from Porta de Ferro. A selects the right Satani. and now B selects a corresponding defense against a right satani, which is to attempt to parry the cut. If B gets a higher dice roll, it will not kill A, but will give B control of the tempo in order to counterattack. They roll the dice to determine the intensity of the attack and defense. A rolls a 9 and B rolls a 3. If you look at the wide game outcomes table, you can see that 9 is powerful and 3 is weak. So A killed B with a right satani. B's attempt to parry the incoming cut was so weak it did not stop A's attack. So what would this exchange look like? Let's look at another exchange. A selects Posta di Codalonga, and B selects Posta di Dona. A randomly selects Audacity, and B randomly selects Prudence. They roll full tempo. A gets full, and B gets a 6, so B controls the tempo. As B gets a +2 bonus to defensive actions from the Vultue code, B chooses to remain defensive. A attacks with a right fendente, and B selects to counter with his own right fendente. A rolls a 3, and B rolls a 4, both of which are considered weak attacks. If you look at the outcome table, you can see that the attacks are so weak that they both fail. They separate and select a new wide game posta. A selects Posta di Corona, and B selects Posta Breve. They roll full tempo, with A getting a 6 and B getting a 2. A controls the tempo and attacks with a special technique called La Punta Falsa. A rolls an 8 and B rolls a 9. These are both considered powerful attacks, and so the technique results in a bind. Both players are now in the close game and select a close game technique. A selects a pommel strike, and B selects a thrust to the throat. A rolls a 5, +2 due to the Audacity Vultue making the pommel strike an intermediate intensity, but B rolls a 9, which is a powerful attack. So B's attack wins, killing player A. So what would this have looked like? Last example, A selects Bicorno, B selects Breve. They both randomly select Prudence. They roll full tempo, with A getting 7 and B getting 4. Although Bicorno gets a +1 bonus to dice rolls when attacking, B gets a +2 bonus when defending due to the Prudence Vultue. So A chooses to remain defensive and full speed to attack. B does not wish to attack, as it would now give the advantage to A, and so plays a retreat call. A selects a new posta, choosing Porta de Ferro, and B remains in Breve. They re-roll full tempo, with A getting an 8 and B getting a 12. B attacks with a thrust, and A chooses to defend with a special technique, rompere de punta, or breaking the thrust, by attempting to drive the opponent's point to the ground. They roll to determine the intensity, with A getting a 5 +1 from the defensive gold and +2 from the Vultue, equaling an 8, and B rolling a 4. Powerful defense against weak attack. So A successfully performed rompere de punta, and countered against B. A wins, so what does that look like? So that's the game. There are a bit more details in the rules that are worth reading, but it is intended to be an easy-to-play game. Feel free to message me if you have any questions or you think the game can be improved in some way. I'm really open to suggestions. So I really do hope you enjoy playing this game. Thank you.